In today's video, I want to show you some handy hints on how you can make use of roll-up summary formulas to make list views much easier to sort and find data regarding sales. We can also create custom report charts to show on an account page all of the sales trend history data for a particular account. Don't forget to subscribe to JetcloudJo to find out more handy hints. Have you ever wanted to be able to sort your account list views by how many have got opportunities, or how many opportunities have been won, or even the value of sales against a particular account? Well, using something called roll-up summary formulas, you can make that really easy. In this video, I walk through how to do roll-up summary formulas to count the number of won opportunities, the number of open opportunities, and the value of opportunities that have been won, plus some date features. And I also show you how you can set up a report chart that can be shown on the account page layout to give you a sales history trend of all of the sales within a particular account. I'm in the Accounts tab and I want to be able to quickly see which of my accounts are customers. You can see there is a type pick list field, but this depends on the salesperson manually updating it. Yes, we can set up a flow that will automate this to change it to customer when a deal has been won. But what is another way of quickly being able to see all of the customer accounts where there's an account with won opportunities? Well, we could do this quickly by using a formula on the account page. So let's try that. So I'm going to go into the Setup and Edit Object. And then I'm going to go into the Fields and Relationships field. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create something called a roll-up summary field. And a roll-up summary will allow me to roll up the number of related records or a value from related records into the parent record. So in this instance, what I want to do is count the number of won opportunities relating to the account that I'm on. So let's select roll-up summary. And this is going to be number of won opportunities. We can create roll-up summary relationship fields on any master detail relationship. So when you select the type of relationship between records, you have the option to have a master detail or a lookup. I'll go into that in more detail in another video. But right now we're going to do a number of won opportunities, and this is going to count the number of opportunities closed won for this account. So when we look at any particular account, we will be able to see how many opportunities have been won on that account. So I'm going to summarise the opportunities object, and I'm going to count the number of records, and I'm going to filter to show only those records that have been won. So 1 equals true. You'll see in this roll-up summary field, we can also create sum, min and max. So we might want to, in another field shortly, create a sum of the value of won opportunities so we know how much revenue we've got from this particular account. We could also do a maximum close date so we can see when that deal was last closed. So we can do that shortly. Let's go ahead and click Next. And we'll want to put this field on our page layout and make it visible to everyone. Because it's a roll-up summary, it's essentially a type of formula field and it's read-only to everybody. It's not editable by a user, only by the system. And I'm going to add that to the page layout. Let's go to the page layout. I'm going to use this one. And you can see that field has now appeared on the page. So we should put that in a section somewhere good that we can see them. We could have a whole summary section of customer information. But what that's showing us is the number of won opportunities. So I could just include that column in my list view to make it easy to see, or I could use the values from this field and set up a formula field that references this field to show me something clear to make sure I know that it's a customer. So next, we're going to go back into Fields and Relationships, and we're going to click on New. And I'm going to create a formula field. And I might want to put in is a customer as my formula field. And I'm going to create a text formula field. And we're going to look at that field we've just set up. So if the number of, and I've got to look at advanced formula fields, if the number of won opportunities, I've just swapped that around, is greater than or equal to 1, then we're going to show, and I'm going to use my emoji keyboard. I'm on a Mac, so I'm using Control, Command and Space to open up my emoji keyboard. And I'm going to put in okay. And then I'm going to come back to this shortly. I'm just going to leave it as blank if it's not a customer. So let's put that in here as that. We're going to come back to this in a moment because it's a text formula. I need to put that in inverted commas. So we're saying if the number of won opportunities is 1, then show a big tick and customer. Otherwise, show a no entry sign. Okay, and we don't want to show zeros, we want to show blanks because it's a text formula. So let's click on next. Next. And we might not want to show this on the page layout, we might want to show it in the compact page layout, which is the header bar at the top of the page. So I'm going to do that just to show you another little thing. Let's save that. And we have the compact layouts. So these are, if I just quickly whip back into here, the compact layout controls what you see in this top section up here. So I want to add that field into there. This is a system default. I can't customize the system default. So what I can do is create a new compact layout. And you could have different compact layouts based on the group of users and what their focus is. But in this particular example, I'm just going to have one that everyone sees. So it's going to have the account name. We're going to say that they is a customer. That's our new field that we've added on there. And we might want to put in the phone number and the website. Save. And now we have to assign that compact layout to who we're going to want to see it. So the primary compact layout is going to now be the compact layout, replacing the default. And it's just taking a little time to save. I think that's saved. And if I go and reload the account page, I can now see that I have is a customer as no entry sign. So back to where we were in our list view, let's go and have a look at all accounts. And if I go and add into my list view that new column we've just created, the formula one is a customer. I can now see a list straight away that's very clear as to whether or not they're a customer. But that might not give me everything that I need to know. Just because they've won an opportunity, we've won an opportunity with them in the past, doesn't mean that they're a current customer. So we might want to do something like looking at when their last opportunity was won. And we also might want to look at these ones here that have not been won yet. We might want to actually show how many of them are currently target prospects, so where we have open opportunities with them. So let's do that one first. Let's have go back into the setup and we'll create another field, which is another roll-up summary, which will count how many open opportunities there are. So where there is an opportunity, but it hasn't yet been closed, either won or lost, but it's not been closed yet. So again, we're going to do a count, and we're only going to include records where closed, because closed includes any kind of closed status, whereas one just shows one, equals, and this is a true or false as well. So closed equals false. So we only want where there are open opportunities. Again, I'm going to save that so you put it on the page layout so you can see the field. So reload. And I might want to add those columns into my view just so you can see them here as well. I probably should have been consistent and had number of. We can do that also. Right, so let's save that. And now I've got the, are they a customer, i.e. they've won an opportunity, we've won an opportunity with them in the past. How many have been won? And we can see here that this one here's had 8 deals that have won in the past. And how many are open? It currently has 7 open opportunities. So we've won 8 and they've got 7 open deals with this particular company at the moment as well. Okay, this one, for example, we've won in the past, but we don't have any currently open deals. Also, if we sort by the open opportunities, I can see that these 2 here have never won an opportunity, but are currently open. So we might want to have a field on there as to show that they are a target customer. Right, okay, so we're going to do another roll-up summary in here to show us when the last opportunity was won. Last won opportunity date. For accounts with 1 opportunities, when, I can't spell today, was the last opportunity won. Okay, so we're going to go in and click on opportunities. And in this instance, we're going to use a max of the close date where opportunities have been won. So it's going to look at all of the opportunities that have been won for a particular account and show us the close date of the most recent. Right, let's go in and add that column. And I can now see the last won opportunity date for all of those that have got 1 opportunities. So some of them have been won recently and some haven't been won for over a year. Okay, so there are some in there that have been won a year ago. Okay, so we've now got last won opportunity, number of open opportunities, number of won opportunities. Let's go ahead and create another roll-up summary to show us the value won. Okay, so we're going to do new, roll-up summary. Shows the total value won for this customer. Opportunities. So that's going to be a sum of the amount field. And again, we're looking only where the opportunities have been won. We don't want to count in that sum the value of all opportunities, because if they were lost, obviously we haven't won that. So we don't want to count it in our amount. Just check that's still there. Next. It's very slow. Next. Okay, we might also want to create a roll-up summary to show us how much value there is in the open opportunities against that account. So value open opportunities. And if you've used campaigns, you might recognise these are similar fields to what you see summed up from where their primary campaign source on an opportunity relates to a specific campaign. Okay, so let's click on next, opportunities, and again this is a sum of the amount, and we're only going to include where closed equals false. So anything that has an open opportunity. And one last thing we'll do, I think we'll do a customer since roll-up summary just to get you a full picture of this customer. And this will show us the first date an opportunity was ever won. Okay, so once again, it's opportunities. This is going to be the minimum, so the first close date where opportunity 1 equals true. I really like these roll-up summaries because they're really straightforward. If you've got a lookup relationship, then the roll-up summary feature isn't available by default, but you can replicate that using Flow. Okay, so let's add those last few fields into my list view just so you can see them in action. So we have the value of open, the value of 1, and we have the first, has it come through yet? No, customer since it was, wasn't it? Customer since. Let's move those up to the top. So we've got all of that data now appearing in here, which means you can sort, you can do charts on it, which I can show you in a minute. Okay, so we've got the value of 1, customer since, the value of open opportunities, all that in here. Okay, so the purpose of doing this was to show you that when I look at an account, I get some rolled up detail. It's not going to show me on here because of lightning, and we haven't added them long enough ago. There we go. They've all appeared here in the bottom left, so we should put them in a section. But I just wanted to show that you can see from an account record all of that data, which is really handy, and it's really handy for searching in list views. And as I highlighted, we can also add in, formula fields that show us an emoji, and we could do similar things for this here. But what I'm going to do now is show you how you can get that data in a different format as a report chart on an account page, so that we can see how many sales there have been over time for a particular customer to give us a sales trend. So let's do that now. We're going to create a report, and it's going to be, not a new folder. We can create a new folder actually while we're here. This folder is going to be detail page report charts. And if I put a report in here, I know not to edit that because it's going to affect what happens on the actual record page. Okay, so in this report, I am going to do a opportunities report. So I want to look at all opportunities that have closed won by when they were won. So I want to put a grouping into my report of the close date. I could do close month or I could do specific date. I'm just going to show you the close date and what that will do. And I'm going to change the filter to look at all time, just so that we don't lose any of those. I want to see opportunities that have been closed won all time. Okay, so I'm going to run that report just to start with. And you can see we are getting 31 records back here. If I just go back in and change that to, instead of looking at row count, no, I can't do that. Opportune. I can use my field that I created, my number of won opportunities in here as well. So it adds a summary of that again. Right, so then I can see by account how many there are if I was to group it by account. I might also want to group this by the deal type, for example. Let's run that. Okay, so it's grouping it here by the deal type. I don't like this close date because it's showing me the actual date that it's being closed won on. And when I create my charts, I don't want to see the actual date. I want to see the month or the quarter that it was closed within. So now that I'm back in the edit page, if I click on the little down arrow on the close date column, I can go and change that to group date by either the calendar week, the month, the quarter, or the fiscal quarter, the fiscal year, or the calendar month and the year. So the calendar month and the year would show me 1 through 12, and the calendar day and the month would show me the day of the month. So I can compare month by month which part of the month gives me the greatest sales. Right now, I'm going to change this to calendar month, and I'm going to add a chart which is going to show me, I'm going to click on run first just to get the data up, going to show me by month those closed opportunities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a stacked column, and I want to show by month the deal type. So in here, I have now got my deal type. I don't want to use the sum of won opportunities. I should have created a what's it called, power of one formula field, which I'm going to do in a moment, which will show me the number of opportunities that I can use that as my report summary. So here I've now got the record count, and we are counting opportunities because I selected an opportunities report. So you can see month by month we have now got the deal type segmented for that particular set of opportunities that have been won. I'm going to save this report into my new folder that I just created, and it's going to be called Sales History Report. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save that. What I want to do is I want to be able to see this report specific to an account record that I'm looking at. So if I go back into my account setup, actually I'm going to do it from the account here, go into an account, this one for example, that one hasn't got any opportunities, that's a bad example. Let's go into Edge, which has got 6 opportunities. So we will be able to see, as long as those won, yeah, they're won, when they were won. So I want to create a sub-tab on here that will show me my historic opportunity 1 chart. So if I go into the cog and click on Edit Page, I want to add a sub-tab in here. So I'm going to go and add a tab, and I'm going to rename that tab. And I generally go and rename all my tabs with something custom. And we're going to call it Sales History. Okay, so I've now got a Sales History tab in here. Click into that sub tab, and I'm going to click on, what is it called? Report. report chart and drag that over. So it's going to default to whichever report is the first in your list. But if I click on it, I can see my sales history report has appeared. And at the moment, it's going to show me all of the accounts because I haven't filtered in my report. So I'm going to use the filter by option on the right hand side here to filter by the account ID. If you have lots of global organisations and you've got the account hierarchy set up with the parent account, you'll see in here you also have the option to see the parent account ID in there. But in this particular setup, I don't have that. So I'm going to click on account ID and then save that. And I'm going to activate that page layout. And I'm going to make it the all default for everybody. But clearly, if you're a large organisation, you want to make sure that that is only available to the people that need to have access to it. Okay, right, let's go back and have a look at that sales history tab. So there we now have a sales history report that shows us the number of opportunities closed over time and by what type of deal they are. Right, say I want to change this, and I actually didn't want to see how many opportunities. I want to see the amount of the deal, so the sales value. Well, let's go back and change our report to do that. So in the sales history report, we're going to edit that chart. I haven't got the amount as a sum, so I'll need to go back into the setup of the report by clicking on edit. And I'll need to make sure that I've got the amount. Have I got the amount? No, I've got the amount in here, I just haven't summed it. So the summary, although it's on the page, hasn't been clicked. So I could have the sum. I could even do an average to see what the average size deal is for that particular customer. But right now, I'm going to do that. So whatever you want to see as the report chart on your account page layout, you need to have defined the chart in your report in the same way. You can't customize the chart on the page layout like you could in a dashboard. Okay, so let's go back into my account. Oh, I didn't change it on the, did I change it? I didn't change it in the report settings, did I? So let's go back into the report, sorry about that. And here, so we're going to edit that. So I've still got it summarising on the number of opportunities here. I need to change my chart. And I just told you I needed to do this and I didn't do it. And we're going to change it from record count to sum of amount. Okay, so I could include both the sum of amount and the number of records, but because they are different scales, so the sum is clearly in millions here, whereas the number of records is in individual numbers, it doesn't make sense to have them on the same axis because the numbers will be very small for the number of records. So let's go ahead and save that. And we're going to go back into our account, back into our Edge Communications, back into our sales history tab. And here we go, we can see the sum of amount over time. Okay. So that, I hope, is helpful. So let's summarise what we've covered in this video. We've gone through using list views for managing data and for seeing where there's gaps in your customer data. We've created a number of roll-up summary formulas to track the number of won opportunities, the number of open opportunities, the value of won opportunities, the value of open opportunities, the last won opportunity date, and customer since. And that's all on the account page, so you can track that information for a particular organisation. We've also created a text formula and used emoji icons to make it clearer whether they're a customer or not. We've also created a sales history report with a report chart that's going to be displayed on the account page. And we've updated the Lightning page layout to include a sub-tab with the sales history report that we've created, filtered on the specific account that we're viewing. If you like this content, please do subscribe to my channel, JetcloudJo, and share with other people that might find it useful. Do check out some of my other videos. I recently posted about how to create Lightning custom links so you can link from a campaign to a campaign report directly from a campaign. Did you know that JetCloud has been a partner of Salesforce since 2009? That's 15 years of JetCloud. In that time, we've helped so many organisations, not-for-profits and commercial, to improve their processes internally, sales and service, reports and dashboards, or just to be a helping hand when that time comes and you have a question. So please do get in touch if you need any help, ongoing or just one-off. www.jetcloud.com